governor, there's a clear choice. Ralph Northam wants to take down Virginia's Civil War monuments.
I will do everything that I can to remove the statues at the state level,
Ralph Northam will take our statues down. Ed Gillespie will preserve them.
I'm for keeping them up, and he's for taking them down. And that's a big difference in November.
That is what's playing out on television screens all across one key southern state today. The South is known for its manners and civility, but not when it comes to politics. Just ask Virginia. The race for governor has become a knockdown, drag-out battle between the Republican and the Democrat there, and Donald Trump is right smack dab in the middle of it all. Why, you ask? We'll explain. The panel is back. Margaret, why is this such a race to watch? Why is this such a test of political pull of the president?
The president hasn't been anywhere near Virginia. The Republican nominee has taken on Trump-like characteristics and positions without having the president come anywhere near him, without having the president come. And the question is, Ed Gillespie, who had formerly, in a former life where a former Republican Party of sort of a modern reform Republican Party existed, almost won a statewide race there last election cycle. And this time, if he ekes it out, it will be because he has dropped those reform Republican instincts and adopted a Trump mantle without having Donald Trump go there. And so he'll have walked a very fine line towards the governorship. At the same time, national Democrats have completely fallen away from this candidate. And so it says just as much about the strength of the Democratic Party nationally, I think, as it does the Republican Party, which is why everybody is looking at the tea leaves in this race.
Do you see this, Caitlin, is this more Donald Trump didn't feel the need, didn't want to go campaign for Ed Gillespie, or Ed Gillespie says, you know what, I don't think I really need you here right now?
Yeah, I think it is a little bit of both, but more towards the latter, because he has been trying to walk this fine line, and that's why every Republican that I talk to says that if Gillespie pulls this out, this will be a playbook for Republican candidates running in states and districts where the president is unpopular, but you need his voters. And you played those commercials. Ed Gillespie has really tapped into the cultural and economic anxieties in the state, and that's aimed certainly at Trump voters, but I think those issues resonate with a broader Republican electorate. And you look at the polling, I mean, the Confederate issue in Virginia, taking down the statues is a very unpopular position with the broader electorate, and so I think that's also pretty interesting.
But Karine, I mean, it was a Democratic governor, obviously, that will be leaving office. Obama won the state twice. Hillary Clinton won the state, beat Trump there. Yep. This sure looks like a race for the Democrats to lose. What is, I mean, and Ralph Northam is... Yeah. He's being too nice.
Yeah, it's really interesting because I've been thinking about this race. So I was in the White House in 2009 when then we had a New Jersey and Virginia race. We lost those two. Yeah. There was also the Senate race when after Ted Kennedy passed away in Massachusetts, we lost. It is definitely a referendum on Donald Trump, just like it was a referendum on President Obama in 2009. So that is really key, which is why I think Donald Trump is really curious about this race and really focused on it. But you're right. I actually think this is a race that
be running away with.
But that's what I was going to get to that point. Yeah, this is a race that we Democrats should be winning. And I think what happened is Northam allowed Gillespie to take the messaging away from him. He took that and ran away. And when I teach a class at Columbia, and I tell my students all the time, Rule 101, you can't let the other side define you. And that's what he's allowed to do. But, you know, I think he'll be able to squeak it through, but it should not have been a squeaker.
Ed Gillespie, in any way does it seem that Donald Trump is a liability in this race? Nan, do you see that?
I think Ed Gillespie is quite deliberately running his own race because Virginia has a polyglot Republican electorate. You know, there's suburban Republicans who probably feel that certain aspects of the president's approach really don't jive necessarily with theirs. So, but they know that Ed is a compatriot. But those who supported the president more strongly. I think have heard the reassurances from Ed Gillespie that he's not running a culture war against them. Now, I would certainly take issue with the statues ad, God knows, but I think the Democrats did themselves a severe disservice by running that very inflammatory ad with a truck chasing children
It wasn't a North ad, it was actually...
No, it was a Latin, I know. It was a
honestly, when it comes down to it, everyone kind of thinks it was the same thing.
Group,
so, short answer is, I think you just said, yes, you think Trump was a liability.
And I predicted...
I'm just grabbing straws here.
I predicted Gillespie's going to win, actually.
Oh, there you go. Make a prediction.
I'm not saying that
they always come back to bite you. Look at the clock. It's ticking up. Day 292 of President Trump's administration. That's the state of America tonight. I'm not sure if Margaret was excited or not when she just rolled her neck like she had to stretch out for the big game. Great to see you all. I'll see you back here tomorrow.
Find your winter in Korea. Draw your winter story in Pyeongchang